Ladies and gentlemen, I am super pumped to be back this Sunday, and what a fixture we've got in our hands. The Marinakis derby, the Europa League Conference League clash. These two clubs have a lot going on off field. It's time to get it one on the pitch here with this one. Cannot wait. Okay, cool. Everything's working on there. I cannot wait for this one. I think it's going to be tight. It's going to be nitty-gritty. It's going to be physical. Palace, their first game back at Selhurst Park post the FA Cup and Community Shield victories. It's Nottingham Forest, Europa League now, taking past the spot with the Tifos going up now at the home end. This has got a lot of excitement to be had, I feel like, in this one here. Obviously, a lot of chat about that European competition. A lot of chat about Nuno Espirito Santo and his future at Nottingham Forest. Those home fans will be going mental for this game here. Mark Gahey is still there. He's still letting out the troops. And for Nottingham Forest fans, you see there in the way, and they've got big Marinakis in charge of those troops. And as such, they're going to be a very hard beat this season. Obviously, Douglas Luiz joining midweek as well to add the quality. But how's that for a look? Crystal Palace Tifo with the legend Ward holding up the FA Cup trophy. These two teams are the great entertainment, I think, of the Premier League this season. Atmosphere is going to be absolutely palpable here at Selhurst Park. Players lining up now in the tunnel. We'll get to the lineup news a little bit later for now, but it's as you'd expect. A lot of talent in both dressing rooms. I cannot wait. I predicted a 2-1 Forest win in the prediction video, but I'm really second-guessing now. I might go with 2-2. It's got entertainment factor. It's got danger at both ends of the park. It just feels like Palace, their first game at home, they're going to show up. They are absolutely going to show up, and it probably makes more sense to give them the victory. I'm going to turn the volume up here because there's nothing gets me more excited than a glad all over and the Palace lads walking out onto Selhurst Park. Forest were fiery in their first game with a dominant 3-1 win over Brentford. Palace held Chelsea to a 0-0 draw. They'll be disappointed they didn't get all 3 points with the Eze goal being ruled out. But Eze is not there today. It will be Ismail Assar, Jean-Philippe Mateta, and Justin Devaney up top. They're going to have to cause the problems for this resilient Nottingham Forest backline. And their dynamic attack with Dan Ndoye there now, joining Callum Hudson-Odoi and Chris Wood. There is talent all over the park. There's excitement factor deluxe. And I think we're in for a good one. Let me know you guys' score predictions in the comment section. Obviously, Super Sunday exclusively on YouTube this year. And we get to the lineups now. Oliver Glasner is forced into that one change, obviously, with Eberechi Eze departing for Arsenal. But it's that same back three. Dean Henderson's in goal. Chris Richards, Maxence Lacroix, and Mark Gahey remains at the football club. He looks like he's going to stay now for the remainder of this season, and he'll play out the remaining of his contract here at Crystal Palace. It is Tariq Mitchell and Daniel Munoz at fullback. The two wingbacks have been fabulous since the turn of the year, and probably one of the best combinations in 2025. In midfield, Wharton and Hughes, the dynamic duo in there. They've been fabulous as well, especially in the FA Cup final. And then Ismail Assar, Justin Devaney play in behind Jean-Philippe Mateta. Look to get his season off to a bright start in this one here. Big boots to fill for the Northern Irishman, Justin Devaney. But the big news comes on the bench. Roman Essa remains, and Caden Rodney is on there as well. Jefferson Lerma there, Nathaniel Klein. But Oliver Glasner backs in this 11 in this game here. A weaker bench than what we would have thought last season. That's just the way of things sometimes. Here's Nuno Espirito Santo's 11, which could be his last, potentially at Nottingham Forest. Matt Sells remains in goal. He's been superb since joining a couple of seasons ago. Olaina Nico Williams at fullback. Milenkovic and Murillo, the dynamic duo, at the heart of the defence. In midfield, it's combative, it's robust, especially more deeper with Sangare and Elliot Anderson. Gibbs White plays in behind Chris Wood. And the danger for me comes on the flanks. Dan Ndoye and Callum Hudson-Odoi. will be an exciting package to watch in this game here. We are less than a minute away from kickoff in this one, so get excited, ladies and gentlemen. This one, I think, might end up being the game of the weekend. Everything in readiness now. Let me know your score predictions, guys, in the comment section down below. I see a lot of you guys in the comments, in the chat right now. So, you know your thoughts. There's Douglas Luiz on the bench. Eagle, Jesus, Omari, Hutchinson, Ryan Yates, and James McAtee. Forest have come ready to go this season. There's Nuno Espirito Santo there. The hyper focus will be on him today, considering all that's been said during the week. And I think whatever Maranaka says goes. As you can see by Gibbs White still playing for Nottingham Forest. It's the same 11 for Forest, but there's a shit ton of players on the bench there you can be excited about. Oh, we love it. Football back in South London. Football back in a sunny afternoon at Selhurst Park. Everything is in readiness. FA Cup champions, Conference League qualified Crystal Palace taking on Europa League qualified Nottingham Forest. And we just got the check of approval here from the referee, and we are underway. Crystal Palace in their traditional blue and red strip, kicking from right to left to the home end. The change strip for Nottingham Forest, they're in that cream. They're going left to right. And it is already bouncing at a sunny Selhurst Park. The Maranakis derby is underway. Forest Europa League side taking on the Conference League Crystal Palace. Off-field chat for the last 2 months comes to an end. It's time for the real stuff here at Selhurst Park in what is a pristine Sunday afternoon of football. And if anything to be excited about, we're going to have matchups of plenty. We're going to have excitement of plenty. Welcome back, Elijah. Great to have you here, man. What's your score prediction for this game here? Because I've gone 2-1 Forest midweek in my prediction video, but I think a 2-2 could be in the cards here. Persuaded by this rampant home crowd. And thank you for all 6 of you who are joining me live here for this Super Sunday live watch along. This and much more to come this season, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry about that. Make sure I turn off these football notifications. That's the last thing I want on a live stream. Here's Gibbs White. Echo Williams. And dealt with in the end by Chris Richards. It'll be a throw. A throw for Crystal Palace. Forest 3-2. Fair play, Elijah. Well, we had 2 live streams. You were both here for them last week and didn't have a single goal. So, look, we're due. It's fair to say that. Would have got 1-0. Feze was, I'm definitely backing Palace in, but when we look at the Nottingham Forest bench, I mentioned a few of the names in the pre-game. Douglas Luiz, Omari, Hutchinson. You guys got the experienced Ryan Yates there as well. James McAtee. There's talent aplenty that they can call on from the bench. Whereas for Crystal Palace, a rotation player like Justin Devaney is on from the start today. So very, very interesting to see how it goes. Thank you for everyone who's joining in. Big crowd in today for this Super Sunday watch along. Absolutely ecstatic to have Palace football back on the channel. Always have good fun watching the Palace boys. And we've had a lot of exciting Nottingham Forest watch-alongs over the years as well. That 7-0 win for them versus Brighton last season has to be the highlight. But I've gone a 2-1 Forest prediction for this game here. Set piece taken short. Adam Wharton to whip this one in. Clipped away by Laena and they'll be repelled as far as Will Hughes, as you can hear by the Hughes chants by the Palace faithful. One back though, hooked away by Sangare. And there's a chase on here for Chris Wood, and he's putting Mitchell under pressure, but the wing-back's done well in the end, and he gets grid. And that long ball, Ismail Assar could be there. He's got it. Nicked inside for Devaney. It's Devaney through a goal. Devaney, oh, what's a block for Murillo. He looked for Mateta in the end. Electric start at Selhurst Park. Oh, end-to-end stuff. Ismail Assad as well. Bit of pinball in there, feeds it through to Devaney. Just thought he could take the shot instead of that second touch. Hit that across goal and tense the keeper, but what a start here at Selhurst. End-to-end. That's what I'm going to expect. That's why I picked this game this week, and you got excitement aplenty between these two great sides. On the backdrop of European qualification, you just thought it was going to boil over at some point. We've already seen end-to-end action. Devaney showing what he can do early on here. As I said, 2-1 Forest, my initial prediction. I'm going to adjust that to be a 2-2. Great ball from Zangaro. Finds his partner, Elliot Anderson. And space now for Gibbs-White. This is danger. Because Morgan Gibbs-White can pick a pass. Skips past Tyreek Mitchell. Puts a ball into the middle. It's Chris Wood. Oh. And with his form, he thought they'd find the back of the net. But that one's gone just wide. It has been a absolutely electric start here at Selhurst. Really, really lucky for Crystal Palace that Chris Wood hasn't used his golden touch to find the back of the net, because everything he touched turns to goals across the last 18 months or so. I guess that's why Tottenham are in for Gibbs-White, because that talent, the ability to pick a pass like that is what he's known for. That's why he's got the captain's armband. That's why he signed that big extension at Nottingham Forest. They've flexed their muscles this season in the transfer window. What could have been a rough window, losing Alanga and Gibbs-White, has turned out to be a superb window, adding more depth. And that depth we can see on the bench today. James McAtee, Douglas Luiz, Amari Hutchinson and co. Thanks for joining us, everyone, here on YouTube. Let me know your score predictions as we are in the early stage of this one here. Chances at both ends in the opening 6 minutes of this matchup. Here's Adam Morton. Just a perfect day for football here in South London. Sun's out. Sunday afternoon. Watching the Everton game, yeah, fair play, Elijah. I was very tempted to have that one as the feature game this weekend, but just think we're going to get entertainment aplenty here. But keep with me, and I'll keep you updated. I am a United fan, Elijah, so same as last week, a live stream prior to United game. This is just a warm-up for the big one this afternoon in London. Fulham United later on. Obviously, the big one is the Isaac derby tomorrow. But I'm backing United in tonight, Elijah, to get a win. And Burma and Cunha, for me, will do the business, I think. There's Adam Morton on screen. As a United fan, I'd love a piece of him. He's been fantastic since the midpoint of last year. Had a rough start to the season last year. I think as did a lot of younger European Championship players, just to get that same match fitness. I think for Crystal Palace this season, if they want to be successful, Conference League football, domestic football, heavily relies on that midfield combination. Will Hughes and Adam Morton need to stay fit, need to stay out of suspension trouble as well, because they are the heartbeat, they are the cogs that turn this Palace side. It's a dangerous ball to find Hudson-Odoi. Give and go to Anderson, but skipper Mark Gahey across to clean up. A really up-tempo start of this game. 7 minutes in, it's got a real good feel about it. The only goal would be massive, you feel, for Nottingham Forest, to calm the nerves, to keep this home crowd quiet, because they are right behind these Eagles. Great backheel for Mateta. Here comes Ismail Assar. Devaney's up alongside him. He's whipped the ball into no one in particular. Needed runners, but not net of support. Lorena has taken his time and dinked that towards Chris Wood, and the New Zealanders done well. Here's the former Bologna, Dan Ndoye. And he's just ran out of green grass to run into. What a debut it was for Dan Ndoye. A great header. A player I absolutely love watching, but in my time watching him at Bologna, we did not see that in his game. And first game, the Premier League is whipping out power bullet headers. So more to come from Dan Ndoye, you feel, this season. The Swiss international, fabulous at the European Championships. Great second half of the season with Bologna. Now shining on the biggest stage in the Premier League. Here's Dan Ndoye again. I put the ringer on him there. That pass broken up by Mark Gahey. Devaney's run into trouble. How's Lorena? Skips past Tyreek Mitchell. He's had a rough start to this one. Aina dinks that in. Chris Richards had to deal with it because there was no chat, he's saying. And behind for the first corner of the game, and it's gone Nottingham Forest way. Really tricky for Lorena. Just a hesitation. Got Mitchell on his back shoulder, and he couldn't dive in. And the ball was dangerous. And as you can see in the replay, Richards is saying, I don't know what was behind me. The American international had to just get rid. First corner taken by Elliot Anderson in front of those adoring Forest fans. It's a right-footed outswinger from Elliot Anderson. Oh, it was in the wood direction. Come out to Sangare, and he's just lofted that up 30 or so rows back. Let me know who you guys support in the comment section, guys, if you're joining me. See, I'm a Manchester United fan, so and just to stay up for today. Good 6 hours of football to be excited about. But if you're a Palace fan, if you're a Forest fan joining us, let us know your thoughts on your team's summer transfer window, your thoughts on the season to come. I'm excited for both these two sides. I think Forest more so now they've made a lot of these signings. They've added depth, added quality to attack the Europa League and the Premier League. They've got a manager and they've got an owner that's going to take the game on. Another poor pass from Tyreek Mitchell. He's had a rough start to the season. He struggled at Stamford Bridge as well. He's Devaney. And he's misplaced the pass as well. A real rough start to him as well. And Will Hughes is giving that away. Elliot Anderson looking to skip away. And a fabulous challenge for Maxence Lacroix. And here comes Devaney now. The Northern Irishman. Nipping, tucking midfield already. You can feel the energy. There's Wharton. Spraying that out to Daniel Munoz. Ball in, that's gone over everyone, but can be cleaned up by Tyreek Mitchell. Ball back into Will Hughes. Good whip on it. Mateta, and he's just couldn't really get a proper contact on the ball, and it's gone towards the touchline. It's Chris Wood holding the ball up well, and Lacroix into the back of the New Zealander. Done well there, Chris Wood. Gets the chance. Elijah, I can imagine that atmosphere would be out of this world today. That place. And they need to bounce back as well, yeah. It's got a strong vibe of a dominant Everton performance. I think Brighton travelled well enough to go and travel to a very, very tough atmosphere like that. There at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. There's Murillo. Somehow that ends at the feet of Gibbs White into Elliot Anderson. But yeah, Everton game, I did back them win that game. I think I had it as a 2-1 win there as well. But don't quote me on that. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Cutting inside, Hudson-Odoi. Sitting down Munoz. Nico Williams. Ball's come back out to him. What a fizzer across the box dealt with by Will Hughes. Repelled out as far as Elliot Anderson. Here come Forest once more. They've really played with a good pep in their step in the first quarter of an hour or so. That's a misplaced pass by Murillo. Dropped off to Mateta, but he wasn't aware of that. Will Hughes can clean that up and Palace can get back on the football. Been a real back and forth start. It's the house / studio, Elijah. It's a spare room in the house and it's been converted into the studio. And it will stay that way, I think, for a little bit, because other than some soundproofing that others in the house aren't happy about, it is set up now for the rest of the time. Lights look good, jerseys are intact, there's balls, there's everything. It's got a lot right now. But more to come. I'm trying to work on making this room very versatile, more shows, more mini segments, maybe some interactive segments for the future. But right now, just buying my time. Appreciate it, my friend. It's been a long process, but after 2 and a bit years and our 3rd full season now, covering the Premier League and football in general, I think we're finally set. Thomas Tuchel in the house to keep an eye on this game. Here's Devaney. got limited support. I have a bad addiction, Elijah, to buying football kits. I've got most Premier League sides. I've got one of my mates in England right now trying to clean up the rest. So Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Bournemouth are the ones missing. I'm an AFL fan, but I'd rather speak less about that as a West Coast Eagles fan at the moment. Rather not touch on the AFL at the moment. There's Mitchell winning that ball back. Dan and Doy skipping away. And that's a foul. That should be the first slice of cheddar for this one. Instantly, Max Senslakoi knew what he did there. Just Gibbs White, he brought down. Early yellow card. Lazy challenge. Gibbs White was skipping away. Palace caught out in transition. We know how good Forest are in transition. So that's a watch in this game here as well. The balance of who's better on the break. Both sides prefer to hit with pace in transition and get at the sides. Who is your team, Elijah? Let me know. Oh, yeah. Let me know, guys, if you're joining us from around the world or Australia or wherever. Let me know who you support, Premier League or globally. I'd love to have a chat about that in this one here. Grealish. I have Kieran and Drisby Hall on my fantasy team today, so let me know, Elijah, how he goes. Got notifications blocked while I'm watching this one, so see how that one goes. Here's Lorena. Away from one and a second chance. That's very well to find Gibbs White. So Gare's touch just takes him away from goal. Anderson back with Sangare and now Hudson-Odoi. Touch around the corner from Gibbs White. Looks like Forest want to keep more of the football today. Do more of the playing, and I think for Palace that suits them. Richmond, wow, yeah. Well, I guess everyone beat the Eagles this season. That's a great little ball. Gibbs White looking to find Ndoye. Repelled away by Mark Gahey. Skipper, once again, despite all the off-field chat, remaining at the football club and remaining with the captain's armband. I think today he's going to have to put in a mighty shift to keep this Forest side quiet. There's Gibbs White turning away from danger, whipping a ball in. Deeper than everyone. And Devaney again, heavy touch. Cleaned up by Will Hughes. Wharton's touch gets away from him as well. It feels like some momentum swinging in Forest's way. Back and forth start, finally edging in the way of the trees. Richards hooks away. As far as Murillo. They're just protecting their own area. Great feet from Elliot Anderson. Can now spread the play to Dan Ndoye. Tariq Mitchell backpedaling. Dan Ndoye's ball in. Took a nick and Dean Henderson, easy enough, catches that one. But yeah, two great games going on this Sunday afternoon. Let me know what game you're watching, where you are watching from around the world. But we have been blessed to a very, very good start of the Premier League season. Great matchups throughout. Obviously, the big one, I guess, being yesterday, that maybe not surprising, but dominant Tottenham performance versus Manchester City that really shut me up after my big chat on Monday was about how Man City seemed back. They seem already gone after 1 week, and now it looks like Spuds are the team to keep an eye on. North London is absolutely on fire right now. 18 Manchester United kits. Yeah, look, I have all three kits for the last 3 seasons. But then before that was just home strips. So I think I'm going to be around 14 myself, 15. That's a good little ball. Callum Hudson-Odoi now through on the left-hand side. Checks back inside. Cross looks like it hit the arm of Chris Richards, but nothing doing, says the referee. Now Adam Morton can stroll into midfield. To the partner, Will Hughes. Into the bit of Devaney, who just awareness hasn't been there in this game. I'm back by Hughes. At the feet of Wharton. Now drilled at the feet of Ismail Assar. Daniel Munoz slips in. Ismail Assar's touch was awful. And then the cross was even worse. tonally scoring. Well, that would definitely silence that Hill Dickinson crowd, Elijah, if Brighton get an early goal. Definitely a struggle from the start here. Ollie Glasner will look at this game and closely analysing it. They've got the money now for Eberechi Eze. Do they go out and buy a new number 10? Do they trust in Devaney, Roman Essa, and company to get the job done? Wood does well initially, but cushions that ball straight to the feet of Tyreek Mitchell. Looks to feed in Devaney, and it's just run out of grass there. Out of play for goal kick. And there's Eddie Nketiah. He'll have a big role to play as the season goes deeper, especially Conference League football. You feel like he will play a massive role there. Maybe even from the start in the number 10 spot. But a move that promised a lot last season never really delivered. As was a lot of former Arsenal players. See, Emil Smith-Rowe, probably one of the biggest flops of last season. Elijah, I think a lot of people got rid of him, so I think you're not alone there. I'm just happy that I kept a hold of him, and I'm happy I put Esteve in my starting 11. For those FPL players out there, how are you going this week? Because I had a very mediocre week last week, but I feel like I'm back on track this time around. But let us know how you're going FPL-wise, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section. Elijah, I feel like everyone got rid of him, though. It's fickle. I was talking to some of the boys this week, and the thing with FPL, you've got to stay and stick fat with the team. It's like Football Manager. Believe in the players, build some confidence. So playing his confidence right now is Devaney. He's giving it away again. Here come Forest in transition. You see without their best. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Richards has him for company. Pinball in the box. Hook clear by Max Sense-Lacroix, but every time Forest get up ahead of steam, especially with Hudson-Odoi, you just worry for this Crystal Palace backline. They sing the name of that manager, Ollie Glasner. Hey, right now, I might make a video about it, or we might talk about it in a Premier League review. For me, got to be a top 8 manager in the Premier League, maybe in top 5. I have to really think about it, but he's been unbelievable. Captain Gabriel, you know what? Fair play. That is a great choice. And Doy does well, but Mitchell is even better to win that ball off him. That's a great ball into Adam Morton. Into the feet of Jean-Philippe. Oh, Ismail Sarr. Pardon me. He turns well away from Murillo and finds Daniel Munoz. This is better from Palace. Connecting the game up well. Wharton again. Just feel like everything will go through him today. Great ball in. Oh, nearly finding Devaney, but just a little bit too much on that ball to the Northern Irishman. I tell you what, Gabriel is a good player to have in your squad. I ended up downgrading from him. But what's your thoughts on Cole Palmer, Elijah? I had him captain this week. So backing Mo Salah in tomorrow night. But are people keeping Cole Palmer in their FPLs? Let me know. I love the tifo in the away end. The Marinakis tifo, sorry, in the home end is fabulous from the Crystal Palace fans. James Trafford yesterday, yeah, look, I was at the football, the AFL. The Eagles played last night, final AFL game of the season. So missed the first 30 minutes of that City game. But my God, James Trafford. One of the worst performances I've seen from a goalkeeper since I see Andre Onana play a couple of weeks ago. And the Forest fans respond with a Marinakis chant. The Marinakis derby is delivering. Nothing to worry about. Keeping him. Yeah, interesting to see. Just don't think I believe in Cole Palmer as much as I did at the start of the season. Same as Morgan Rogers. Trusted him and Ollie Watkins, and that has been far from successful. Dean Henderson now. Bit of bright start this one in the game, just settling down, as most Premier League games do around this half-hour mark. Still looking for that opener. Really heads back to Matt Sells, and the keeper can collect a goal. We've got a goal in the Everton game. Iliman Ndiaye, so FPL fan out there will be rejoicing. I'll tell you what, you are, Elijah, you are my Chris Kamara to a Soccer Saturday. Yeah, deliver me the good news. There's Hughes. Devaney. Can he link the game up a little bit better than he has in his first 24 minutes? It's been subpar from the Northern Irishman. Mark Gay. It's the feet of Adam Wharton. And he finds Chris Richards. Ismail Assar now. This is better from Palace. When I say that, a poor ball and a poor touch. Oh! At least snuck in. And that's a corner kick. Matt Sells doesn't want... Oh, here's a corner. No? It's not a great ball and a poor touch for Munoz. I think it looked like the ball went out before it came back. Yeah, he's got out of play. But for Matt Sells had a problem in his hand. You didn't even enjoy a goal. I might have to call you Chris Kamara now, Elijah. That is clutch from you. Appreciate that. 1-0 in the Everton-Brighton game. Also kicking off this time as well. Good little flick. Oh. Gibbs White did all right initially, but broken up by Mark Gay. Little flick from Adam Morton. Munoz. Mateta steps over it. Now Devaney can try and feed through Munoz, but just a little bit too heavy again. Grealish assist. Oh. New boy delivering on his debut. That Sells goes long. Looking for Chris Wood. It's worked so far. It's worked again here. Hudson-Odoi. Smart little back heel and a return from Gibbs White. Tricky stuff there. Gibbs White. Just be the proper playmaker in this system right now. Just floats in every pocket. Picks the ball up. Whips balls into the box. There's 1-0 over there at Hill Dickinson Stadium. It's still 0-0 here. We're still yet to have a goal for Players Own watch-alongs this season. But will this change now? Ismail Assar driving. Looking for Mateta. Touch just got away from him again. And John Mateta, someone who's so good with the ball at his feet. Good little slipped in ball, just a little bit too much on it. And the touch, well, it's hard to control when it's that fizzed in. So Mateta scoring midweek in the Conference League qualifiers. And that's going to be a storyline as this season and plot thickens. How do both these sides fare in Europe, and how does that impact their league performances? Both rampant in the Premier League last season through different patches. Palace had a point in time across the new year where they were the best team in the Premier League, or top 4 in the league after Christmas. Nottingham Forest, obviously, you say second and third at the most of the season. But playing 2 games a week's a different kettle of fish. And that's for the future. We're focused on the now. And the now is still 0-0 here at Selhurst Park. Both sides had their chances in the first 5 minutes. They've been the best chances so far, both sides having a corner as well. And outside of that, it's been a real battle in midfield and forward areas, but it's been progressing end to end. It's been a good watch nonetheless, and for you who's watching at home, I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Super Sunday here on the Players Own channel. Make sure you join me throughout the season. More Premier League, more Bundesliga, Serie A, La Liga games to watch coming up. Don't you worry about that. Sarr does well. Lays it back to Hughes. Here's a chance. Tyrick Mitchell. Oh. And it was Jean-Philippe Mateta lingering and lurking at the back post, but the crazy centre-half Milenkovic in the way. Oh. I'm going to have a coughing fit. Over comes Chris Richards for this long throw. Well, this one has a good game if I'm losing my voice 28 minutes into it. Here's Chris Richards' long throw, a specialty of Palace last season. Can they cause more problems from this set play? Initial ball 1. It's dropped in there. Handball shouts, but referee Taylor has seen a foul somewhere in there or that. Mateta. Oh, gee. I'm being distracted. Great save from Matt Sells. Oh, okay, I'm back. Sorry. Sorry for people at home. I just went blank for a minute there. But big chance for Palace. They're best in the game. Yes, Donnarumma is off his way to City. I think that's confirmed today, Elijah. So I guess for everyone at home as well, Donnarumma is there. Oh, what a back heel. Dan and Doy driving to the box. A cutback. Hudson Odoi. And his pass broken up in the end as well by Will Hughes. It is end to end. It is electric here. Fair play about that. Yeah, not getting rid of Palmer. I'm giving Palmer one more week. If he doesn't deliver, he's gone. Bruno in. That's my view on things for FBL. A lot of you joining me. Appreciate all of you that have joined me so far for this game. It's been a really good watch. Hanging for a goal there, aren't we? Half an hour in. It's just flown by. Ball fizzed in, flicked on by Doy, but straight to Dean Henderson. But yeah, City, that's the big news for them. The signing of Donnarumma seems imminent. And James Trafford's great City career lasted all of a week, it looks like, because Edison will probably start next weekend. So for you that have got Trafford in FPL or City fans, that's a storyline. What a ball! Great ball. Devaney's in behind. Mateta's there and Sar's there as well. But again, Devaney not want to taking on the shot himself. Wins a corner though. What's a ball from Tyreek Mitchell? Sangare called out. The back line called out as well. Devaney again just in two minds to drive it at goal and give it a go, you think. Forest getting called out. Lamens to United. Disappointed, but I guess better as Andre Onana. But Donnarumma there and United not actioning that has got to be some of the most United business of all time. Will Hughes for this corner. Left-footed outswinger. Good height. Oh, it's directed towards goal. I think just bounced off Maxence Lacroix in the end. And that's why I didn't have the same venom. I almost have Milenkovic in the end. Matt Sells does all right there. Keeps it out at the back of the net. Here's Chris Wood winning that header. Really good start of this game, though. Elliot Anderson. Feeding through Nico Williams. Haven't seen much of him in this one. Now he is again. Back with Morgan Gibbs-White. Cheeky outside of the foot pass, but that's just dribbled out of play. Hudson-Odoi, Dan N'Doye have looked the piece and looked the part. Ismail Assar Mateta growing into the game. But it's, as I said, Will Hughes and Adam Wharton at midfield really have been the difference so far for Crystal Palace. Getting up Forest in transition. Battle between, arguably for me, the two best counter-attacking sides in the league. Both play so well on the break. And both almost prefer to look better defensively than counter-attack from there. Here's Maxence Lacroix. The Glasner barking orders on that touchline. Here's Munoz. Good things always happen when he's on the football. Whipped in ball over Devaney. Reaches Mitchell, but far from ideal first touch. And that one also travels out of play for a goal kick for the Trees. That is Crystal Palace to a T. Munoz crossing the ball. Mitchell at the back stick. Mateta a threat inside the box. That man on screen, Oliver Glasner, that's what I'm talking about. He's got this team buzzing, humming, playing great football. And they can play so many different ways. That's the sign of a good manager. If you can adjust the way you play your football and still find a way to get results consistently against different opposition, against different styles, away, at home, Wembley, afar, it shows you're a top-tier manager. If you won that Europa League title with Eintracht Frankfurt and now winning 2 trophies for Crystal Palace, ending that trophy drought. Fair play to Oliver Glasner. I think that'll be something coming up in the next few weeks for me, manager re-ranked, because he is definitely right up there. Great little outside of the foot pass to find Elliot Anderson now. Ball whipped in. Chris Woods leaked out to the back post. Cut it back to Morgan Gibbs-White. And he just got under that football and hit that into the top tier of that end there. He was involved in the build-up, Morgan Gibbs-White. Little flick ball around the corner, which Elliot Anderson floats toward the back post. Wood knew where Gibbs-White was. Great cut-back pass. But the Englishman is known for his finishing in and around the box. That was far from his best work. Richards long. The referee just says, not even a bar of that. Appreciate the support, my friend. There's Sangare. Just leaking that ball out to the flank where Nico Williams is. Hudson-Odoi now back to goal. Been a funny old game. The first 15 minutes back and forth, pinball type stuff. That's Nico Williams getting that shot cross deflected straight into the hands of Dean Henderson. But that's sort of been the game. It's been non-stop chances either way. No one's really had a scruff, taking this game by the scruff of the neck. Really both sides trading blows and trading chances each end. It's made it for an absolutely exhilarating start to this one. 35 minutes has flown by. 10 minutes and stoppage time to play in this opening 45. Here's Tyreek Mitchell now. He's played that great ball to find Devaney not long ago. Skipper Mark Gahey into Wharton. His first time pass was poor, broken up by Sangare. Here come Forest with Hudson-Odoi once more. Chris Richards travels out to meet him. Double by Munoz, forced back to Nico Williams, and that counter-attack prevented by Palace. That's some of their best work. We saw it versus Chelsea last week in that live watch-along on last week's Super Sunday, but they defend so well. They limit so many chances. They limit the space centrally. Here's Devaney. Turns. The pass again. Just misplaced. Elliot Anderson's touch was poor. Mateta's body work, not bad. Palace keep a hold of it, though. Adam Wharton. Great little pass to find Ismail Assar between the lines. Now Tyreek Mitchell. Crossing chance. Ball dealt with by Milenkovic. Gives White, little backle didn't work. Comes out as far as Wharton. It's Munoz, dinked in. Ismail Assar to 1-0 Palace. And we have a lift-off. At the Selhurst Park, the Eagles are soaring again. And it's Ismail Assar to get Palace up and running for the Premier League in season 25-26. A move of precision, of silk, and of quality. And the quality on show from Ismail Assar. Eze who? It's Ismail Assar, so now, great ball in for Munoz. Assar waiting outside the 6-yard box. And the finish was cool, calm, collected, and most importantly, composed. Put the ball back where it came from. Once again, Daniel Munoz heavily involved. Like he always is. And Sarr, well, he was the man in the right spot at the right point in time. And those fans are chanting Glasner's name. He has got these Eagles absolutely soaring since coming across 2 years ago. And they are in full flight for season 25-26. Thanks to that man, Ismail Assar. It took us 37 minutes, but we are off and running in this game here. Ismail Assar bags Super Assar and scintillating Palace. 1-0 to the good, the Eagles. Now all two for Nottingham Forest on the road. You always felt the first goal would be massive in this game. It's gone the way of the home side, and those home fans now will lift a gear again. And it just felt like it was coming as well. Elijah, my friend, it was a very well taken goal. Great build-up from left to right. As I said, always with Palace, when the ball goes through Daniel Munoz, good things happen. His ball into the box. Great little first time volleyed finish from Ismail Assar. A cushion finish past Matt Sells. So you missed a goal, but I'm thinking there's more to come, Elijah, in this one here. So strap yourself in. Here's Mitchell. Back with Devaney. And look, it came through Mitchell as well in the build-up. Came through Palace spreading the play. That's going to be best with this 5-back. Those wing-backs get high up the pitch. Those number 10s drift in the pockets and they just become such a dangerous side. Mitchell. Here's Mark Gahey. Got space to drive into. Takes it on. There's Mateta. His first touch. Far from ideal. And it's cost him some pain. As Milenkovic went in for that challenge. Henderson. Now with Maxence Lacroix. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we're off for the live streams in 2025-26. If you didn't join us last week, we live streamed the Villa-Newcastle game, which I thought would feed us goals, and then the Chelsea-Palace game, which wasn't as hopeful for, but no goals in 180 minutes of football was mental. Midfield duo for United, well, for me, it'd be Adam Wharton and Bruno Fernandes. I would love to see Kobbie Mainoo start. I just don't think he's a 6. Kobbie Mainoo is a number 8, and unfortunately Bruno Fernandes is playing the 8. He is a skipper, and he's the best player at the football club. So that's the problem that United, Ruben Amorim, and Kobbie Mainoo have got, because he doesn't play much football this season. He is off. Undoubtedly, he'll be out of there. And another club will benefit off that, because he is a top-tier midfielder. He is silky smooth with the ball at his feet. Not the quickest, doesn't cover ground that well. But when he's got the ball at his feet, he glides over the grass. I think United, at the moment, unfortunately, don't need that type of player, because they've got Casemiro, who does the exact same thing in many regards. We need a proper, agile 6, which I'm watching right now at Adam Wharton, and I love watching Adam Wharton play week in, week out, and that's what Manchester United need. Sure, he's class, Elijah, but fitness and availability is your best ability, and it's one of the great quotes of the Players Own channel. If you watch the podcast, you will hear that probably every second week. Broken up there by Will Hughes. Now Tyrick Mitchell. It always feels like Palace are a threat when they're in these wide spaces. Mitchell coming back inside. Finding Adam Wharton for support. He sprays it out to Munoz. And as I'll say it again, danger here. Ball whipped in. Looks deep. Met by Devaney. He's headed back in the area. Finds Mitchell. It's Hughes. Oh. And that ball was curving back into the corner. Mayo, come on, mate. I'm always come on Palace. If I have to have a second team, if United fold, which many times last year I thought the club would fold, I will be on the Palace bandwagon. This team is a great watch, Mayo, and I'm glad you're enjoying the live stream. Come on, Palace, indeed. You know what? They deserve it after what happened to them in the off-season. Oh, good nick from Mateta. Nicks off the feet of Sangare. Give and go with Sarr. Referee Taylor says no foul. And those Palace fans are incensed. And he paid that. And that's going to really disappoint those Palace fans. He's got a foul. Oh, gee, a card for that is ridiculous. Gee whiz. Yellow card for that. Yeah, Elijah, I think that's the banker, to be honest, man. I think that's exact 11 that goes out today. Ahmad from the start, and Sesko for the start. We probably can get that game. Hopefully, one within 60. You know, referee fair play. He's actually missed in there, Nico Williams. So, Sarr playing for the free kick, and then the retaliation, I think, is what's cost Max has the yellow card. A couple minutes to go in this first half, which has been incredibly entertaining. Oh, no, sorry, the assistant, Anger Schmid, has picked up the yellow card. Grealish, unbelievable. I tell you what a signing that is. Jack Grealish anywhere but City is any team that plays with any sort of flair. Jack Grealish will kill it. He's a flair player. He doesn't need to be rigid in a system of cutback FC or Only play with possession. It was down to me a good signing no matter what. Here's Ismail Assar. Great turn. Ball into Mateta. Oh, and the ball for Munoz looked on, but of course Murillo's there. Like he has been across the last 2 seasons. Don't know if I can repeat that out loud, but yes. Surely we draw some weaker countries, Elijah. I'll be heading there. I think I'm definitely flying to America. Can I get to games? That's a different story. But there's a little nugget for you guys at home or those guys who are watching. Player Zone on the road will be coming in the World Cup for 2026. I'll be out there. And also, if you're from Brisbane, potentially something exciting coming up for you guys as well, if you're supporters of the channel. So just keep that in mind. Just dropping some dimes here on a Sunday afternoon, a Sunday football. Super Sunday. Nothing better here on the channel. Fans loving that foul on Adam Wharton. Here's Mark Gahey. Tyreek Mitchell. He's had the beating of Dan Ndoye across the last 10 to 15 minutes as we're in the last seconds of regulation time. Elijah, if I was from Melbourne, I would be there every night. Absolutely. Fed Square it is. How much we expect? 1 minute of stoppage time. That's all we've got here for the first half. The Palace go again. Devaney. Try to take on the most impossible pass and couldn't find a gap in there. One back though by Adam Wharton, as he always does. Space for Tyreek Mitchell. Cuts the ball back to Ismail Assar, met by Lynn Anderson. That was a clumsy challenge and a real bad spot and a bad time to give away a free kick for the former Newcastle midfielder. Really clumsy and really poor. Overzealous. Spun it into the back of him. Ismail Assar knew he was coming, and once the contact comes, he was always going to go to ground. Look, it was a very similar spot to where Eberechi Eze scored only 7 days ago. Thanks all who are joining me or joined me. Oh, big. Oh, thank you, Chris Kamara. Massive mistake from Tarkowski. Still 1-0 apparently though, so. It's 1-0 here and it's 1-0 at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Both home sides leading as we approach the end of the first half of both these 2 games. I'll tell you what, I will desperately need this break because I have never been so animated and so up and about for a football match and my voice is going. This will be the last kick of the half. Wharton is taking a very keen interest. Devaney's there also. But you'd think it'd be the left foot of Adam Wharton to try and curl this into this near side. Only a 3-man wall. Silly buggers with the wall this week. It's Wharton who dinks it in. The back post! Oh, it's off the post. For Ismail Assar. Oh, it was Mark Gahey, who could have made it 2-0 on the stroke of half-time. What a move. Straight from the training ground. He was there, the back stick unmarked. Did really want to stoop down to get onto that ball, and it's gone straight into the post. Palace centimetres away from a 2-goal cushion going into half-time, but it's only the one. Ismail Assar opening Palace's account for the season. He scored a fantastic volley after Munoz cut the ball back to him around that half-hour mark. It is 1-0 though to Crystal Palace at half-time. Forest, a lot of work to do. Palace happy aside, but a lot more to be excited about come the second half. Stay with me, ladies and gents. I'll go for a short 10 to 15 minute break and we'll be back for what will be a very, very entertaining second half of football. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be back very, very soon. Cannot wait for the second half action. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Second half action. I appreciate I was watching the numbers to the half-time interval. It was very impressive. People still stay with it, so I appreciate it. And Elijah, if you're still there, I watched the mistake. There was two. Tarkowski had two rotters. The first one, he just didn't take the ball down. And the second one, that was, yeah, probably worse than James Trafford's yesterday. So somehow Everton is still 1-0 up without playing great football. Had a look at some of the stats. Far from their best work, but they're still up 1-0. We're up 1-0 here. Crystal Palace up as Nottingham Forest. But, yeah, 40% possession, 5 shots, 2 on target. And obviously the big one being the goal flying in the back of the net for Everton. But Brighton with a 1.5 XG, 8 shots, 2 on target, 2 big chances. Both big chances missed. They've hit the post twice. It's been a rough first 45 for Brighton in the other game. Here, it's been a bright start for Crystal Palace. And for Nottingham Forest, look, it wasn't their best half, but far from their worst. I think they could definitely in this game. It's good they need to start strong, though. A defeated type start, and they don't attack this game. Little bit of worries start to creep in, I think, about how this game goes. Thank you for everyone who's joined us today in this Super Sunday live stream. Appreciate all the support on this one here. Massive crowd in for this one today. Wherever you're watching around the world, appreciate it. There's James McAtee on screen. Him, alongside Douglas Luiz and company, will be looking to try and get involved in the second half if things don't change quickly. But for Palace, all good so far. All right, we're underway, second half. Forest change, cream strip from right to left. Palace in their traditional red and white stripes from left to right. It's Palace who lead 1-0 coming into the second half. It was a crazy, energetic first half, back and forth, but it just felt like in the bigger moments, Palace were the better side, and as such, they take a lead coming into this second half here. But we know Nottingham Forest can respond. They've got the talent to do so. It's 1-0 elsewhere in Everton-Brighton game. For those who are wondering, I'll be tracking both with my help of young Chris Kamara Elijah in the chat for me. There's Dan Ndoye now early on. And he gets a corner straight away for Nottingham Forest in front of that Palace end. Really important to get a good start, as I said here. Nottingham Forest getting the score sheet, level this game up, and then we got game on for the last sort of half an hour or so. Anderson's in swinger now. Good speed on it. Well, met well by Mark Gehi. And repelled out to Ibrahim Sangare. He's been matched by Tyreek Mitchell. And in the end, forced That ball out of play for a goal kick. I have checked out, by the way, the Tarkowski errors for Everton. And as I was saying, at the end of that first point of this second half, I'm surprised Everton leading 1-0. Who would have thought that, man? Maybe just the occasion and the event getting them over the line, because they have rode their luck heavy. And so is James Tarkowski. That Milenkovic back pass, not great for Matt Sells. He's done all right with it in the end and just lofts that one forward. Elijah, mate, I was just saying to the chat, if you had just missed it, I checked out the mistakes. Tarkowski, eh? Not his finest work. 2 mistakes in the first 45 and somehow both weren't scored on. And Karim Matoma's effort out of this world in that Everton game. We've been treated to some good stuff here as well. 1-0 in favour of the Palace. Ball, not great from Lorena. Cleaned up by Max Lacroix. And launched long by Dean Henderson. Looking for Jean-Philippe Mateta. He very much is a lucky boy. I don't know how they didn't score either of those chances, but that's beyond me. If you're just joining us here on the channel for this game, really good first half, back and forth. Palace scored in the 37th minute thanks to Ismail Assar. Ball spread out wide to Daniel Munoz, who's cut the ball back and found the attacking midfielder to volley home. A cushion finish past Matt Sells. But Forest had a fair chunk of chances. So they're definitely not out of this game. They've started the second half very well. Second corner of the second half. Up comes the cavalry. Murillo Milenkovic up there. Chris Wood to target as well. Elliot Anderson over to take this set piece. With the heading accuracy of Dan and Doy in that first week, you can't count him out as well. Bright second half start for those from Nottingham. Deep ball, that was way too deep. Took the wrong club. That one there. And all eyes on Nuno Espirito Santo, who, to be honest, I'm not any psychologist or body language reader, but he's giving off a man who's on slim time. A defeated man. But that's just me. Murmurs of Ange Postecoglou lurking. Obviously a great relation with Marinakis. And as I said at the start of this game, whatever Marinakis says goes. It feels like right now. Oh, Elijah, I couldn't give a shit about FPL, to be honest with you, mate. Any trophy for Manchester United, a tin pot trophy I'd take over one in the FPL. FPL's not really for me. I like getting involved in it, but I never really picked the right sides, unfortunately. I just think ball knowledge and FPL knowledge is slightly different. That's what I'm going to say. Make myself feel better about myself. Anyway, we're 5 minutes in here to the second half. Lorena and Elliot Anderson there. His hook ball dealt with by Mark Gahey again. Love to see the stats at the end of this game with how dominant he's been. Another player that could be up for MVP votes. If you're new to the channel, if you're new here for this live stream, we've started the Premier League review show every Monday. And we're doing an MVP in the scenes. I get my MVP, votes 5-1 every week. And I have someone on each week and they give their 5-1. So we'll get an MVP for myself for the year and an MVP for the guests on the Premier League season. Yeah, couldn't get, yeah, exactly, Elijah. It's good for the bragging rights, but I need my club to win trophies. That's just me. We're a big club, you know, we win trophies, unlike some others. But yeah, as I was saying, make sure to check out the channel. Be afternoon over there in the UK. Evening, night, almost midnight here in Australia, that one will go up, but the review show will be out tomorrow. Jacob's returning for another podcast episode there, so keep an eye on that. MVP voting. Week 1 was won by Tejani Reinders, got 5 votes for both of us. Both gave, oh gee, I have to review this. Can't remember my own votes. Who do we go? So match week 1 review. MVP votes 5 to Dejani Reinders, 4 for Richarlison, 3 Dan Ballard, 2 for Semenyo each. Antonio went Matthias de Ligt for a vote, and I went Hugo Ekitike for a vote. So they're the 5-1 voters for match day 1. That's a foul finally on Jean-Philippe Mateta. Look, I go to the glory now and then, Elijah. Goal. We've got a goal. 2-0 Everton over there at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Thank you, Chris Kamara. This is a great combination we're going in. This needs to stay going forward. It's not updated yet on Foot Mobs. I'll wait for that one to come through. But 2-0 over there. James Garner, so the left-hand side is delivering. Garner scores, and Grealish having an assist for the first goal. Everton flying. Toffees 2 to the good in that game versus Brighton. Could Palace be 2 to the good here? No, without delivery from Will Hughes. 2-0 Everton in the other Sunday midday fixtures. Who is Chris Kamar? I said that 8 times. I don't know Jeff, Elijah. If you know that clip, he's the Soccer Saturday representative in Sky. He's out of the games. Oh, there's the 8 seconds. Goal of the week. Matt Sells is furious. So he's been given the first yellow I've seen live of someone taking too long to take their goal kick. There you go. Now you get the reference. I know, Jeff. There you go. I'm Jeff Sterling. You're Chris Kamara. That is very... I've not seen yellows for goalkeepers for a long time. But, banking on Anthony Taylor to make it about himself. Thank you for everybody who's joined us, by the way. It's been great to... And that's a yellow. What the fuck is going on? Anthony Taylor, make it about you. You just know it's going to be about him at some point in the game. Chris Richards going for the long throw. That is got to be the worst minute of refereeing I've seen in a long time. What the hell just happened there? Now that's been 8 seconds for Chris Richards, but there's no card. The game's gone. Long throw from Richards. It's got a goal, Hughes. He struck the volley well, but well and truly over the bar. A banger. It's the problem when I'm solo watch-alonging, because I sort of have to commentate. I'll give it a watch when I can. Elijah, I might get up on the phone. Woods ball around the corner. Tarek Mitchell does well to beat Hudson-Odoi to that. Lorena now going the wrong way. Almost running out of green carpet. I'm going to get this goal up because apparently it's a banger. Elijah, let me know how Tieno Barry's going, because that was my call for shout-out, breakout player this year, and Everton's best young player. So I'd love to know if he's actually doing all right today. Do my scouting report for me. Was it a free kick? Is that a Morton? Sorry, I'm watching 2 games at once here. Devaney. Tarek Mitchell now. Watson. I don't know where this goal is. I don't know why I've skipped so far back. He's playing rubbish. The cursed Everton striker, eh? That's one of the... seems to be the problem every year. Everton can't have a striker finds the back of the net. 5, 6 out of 10. Yeah, okay. Can't win them all. That's the point of predictions, eh? One comes off, you claim it. Oh, it's a great ball. Great ball to find, and Hudson-Odoi in behind. Got the beat to Mitchell, and he slotted it in. And Callum Hudson-Odoi is leveled for Forest. Those tricky trees are back at their best. It was a wicked ball in behind to find Hudson-Odoi. Mitchell caught sleeping. Hudson-Odoi reacted quickest, and that ball was out of this world to find the winger. And we are all levelled up here at Selhurst Park. Hudson-Odoi, the hero. Dan Ndoi takes this so well. Back to goal. Control with the check, control with the head, and then a defence-splitting demon of a pass to tear apart that Crystal Palace backline. Hudson-Odoi reacted first. He got in behind and beats Dean Henderson his near post. What's a goal and what's a ball? Dan Ndoi, the hero again. Hudson-Odoi adds to what has been a great collection of goals on the break. And Forest are level. And I've just seen that rocket from James Garner. That is a superb goal from Garner as well. We've got goals aplenty here. 2-0 at Everton, 1-1 here between Palace and Nottingham Forest. What's a ball from the former Bologna man. Devaney. Can we have an instant response here? Mitchell. Dinged up ball. Devaney! Oh. Lacked the power. Got the precision, but that's even better from there. Free-headed in the box. No, Ndoi didn't score it, but he might as well have. That ball was unbelievable to find Hudson-Odoi. We're all levelled up here. 37th minute. Ismail Assar goal has been cancelled out by Hudson-Odoi just on the stroke of the hour mark. Now those Forest fans find some voice. I told you guys there was going to be a goal before the hour mark and it's game on for the last half an hour. That's what we've got. Ndoi, 2 goal contributions in his first 2 games. Not bad yourself. I don't know what to think about Brighton, Elijah, because I think that's just Brighton. Don't travel particularly well. They're a good team. They're a stylish team. But that's why I don't often watch them or pick them for live, watch them, stuff like that, because they're very easily beaten if it's not their day. Here's Dan Ndoi. Cutting inside. Gets his feet mixed up in the end. But he somehow kept the football at his feet. Great persistence for the Swiss international. But yeah, it might come up, Elijah, between me or Jacob. Winners and losers. Could be a big loser for this weekend. So all you guys are joining, if you haven't checked out the first week's review show, we have a key talking point each, winners and losers each, our MVP votes, and just an early spoiler, tomorrow's Premier League review will contain the Arsenal and Liverpool combined 11 for next week's super matchup between the two teams of last season. So get excited for that. Mount starts, Ahmad starts. We like that. Oh, flicked on for Wood. Oh, what a save. Dean Henderson. Was offside, though. Great ball in, though. Floater for Nico Williams. He was onside. Flicked on Evan Gibbs-White and Wood on the volley. Didn't catch as well he would have liked. And as such, shout out Dean Henderson. But I think that is wrongly called offside. So Look, if that had found the back of the net, we would have had an interesting moment. Here's Elliot Anderson. Forest just turning up the pressure. And Palace at the moment struggling to keep up. And that's a poor chance from Ismail Assar. And they Taylor taking exception to that. United game next versus Fulham. I think United just nick a win, but it's not going to be a great watch, I don't think. I'm going with a 1-0 United win there. And it predicted Nottingham Forest 2-1 for this game here initially. So, might be on track with that one as well. My other predictions this weekend have been quite poor. Chelsea 3-1, we'll take that. City 2-1, didn't happen. Bournemouth 2-2 with Wolves, didn't happen. Villa winning 2-0, didn't happen. 1-1 between Bournemouth and Burnley and Sunderland, didn't happen. 2-0 Arsenal over Leeds, take that. And I went 2-1 Everton and 2-1 to Forest here. Did go 3-2 Liverpool for that Monday Night Football game, which I think is going to deliver on many levels. Here's Hudson-Odoi. It's a great whip to him ball. Had to be dealt with by Maxence Lacroix. Lofted cross, but Henderson has that. Got a really intriguing last half hour here because Palace just seems slightly off it. And right now, all the momentum and all the flow of the game is in the favour of Nottingham Forest. Nicky Williams done well there considering Munoz was right up his chuff. He's holding his groin area. He's in a lot of pain. I don't know what happened. I thought he landed on his back, but... Here comes Roman Esse. Now, this is a player I'm excited for. I've talked about him now for the last 8-9 months. I think he'll be the mustard for Crystal Palace going forward. From Elise to Eze and now to Esse. Bit of problem here for Nico, maybe his knee. Don't know what quite happened. It was Munoz in the back of him. He landed on his back. They look like they're assessing the knees, the groins. Don't know how the hell that's managed to be that bad of an injury, but he seems to be quite startled, the wing-back. Here he comes, Roman Esse, ready to go. There's Steve Parish, who looked to try and be busy in the last few days here of the transfer window, and it is just intervening to make way, which probably makes the most sense. Struggled today, the Northern Irishman, but he'll get more opportunities with this thinner squad. Roman Esse. Junior England international, coming from the Championship and Millwall. Nico Williams, I don't even know if he looks good to go here. The physio's got one of the worst trims I've seen, but that's another story. Jai subbed off. Well, he's had quite a good run, hasn't he, Liam and Jai? Rillo can get us up underway. Back to Sells, who launches up the pitch in the Chris Wood direction. Once again, Mark Gay, he's there to react. Not much else to call on from the bench for Oliver Glasgow. Obviously, Odson Edouard is there, but I feel like his time has come and gone at the Eagles. It's a foul. And a free kick to Crystal Palace. Nicky Williams back on. Walking a little bit gingerly, but fine nonetheless. I guess if they want to lose a player, that's probably the last position they want to lose a player. Not the same midfield attacking depth at the back line for Nottingham Forest. Centre half and wing backs, they are quite threadbare for depth. Well, Aina hooks that around the corner. Gibbs White couldn't get that under control. Munoz wanted a foul. Referee says, let's play advantage. Palace still with it. Here's Will Hughes. He's continued just to cover grass and make things happen. Wanted to feed through Mo and Esse, but it was a little bit long for the junior Englishman. There's a Palace throw in the end, though. Aina's picked up a yellow as well. I do not know what the referee's on about, but there's another yellow card out there. Just over 20 minutes, 20 and change to go on this one here. Another Chris Richards long heave towards that 6-yard box. Can the American produce something dangerous here? It's flicked on. That's a Will Hughes. He heads back in. Bit of head turns with him and Milenkovic. Referee's let that go there. I thought it was a foul. Esse. Cut back. Oh, Munoz's ball was dangerous. There was numbers in the box. Didn't reach any of them. Hughes' ball. Esse couldn't clear his feet. And that's a foul finally given. They have a scrap in that box. Gay not happy. Neither is Morgan Gibbs White. Neither is anyone, it feels like, at this moment in time. Sort of a theme of the game. Smart little ball around the corner from Esse. Not bad cross from Max Sensacqua. I thought he could take a little bit off it. To that time for Ismail Assar to get into the dangerous area. But yes, Roman Esse leaves a foot on Olorada. Matt Sells gets back underway. He's on the yellow as well for time wasting. So Aina, Mitchell and Sells all booked for time wasting. Maybe the first and last time we'll get 3 players booked for time wasting. That ball was really bold and as such turned over. Dan Ndoye checks back into midfield. Gives it off to Elliot Anderson. Now Ibrahima Sangare. Space for Hudson-Odoi. He's already on the score sheet today. Whips that ball in towards Dan Ndoye. Couldn't replicate his heroics from last week. Important ball won there by Dan Wharton. Feeds in Esse. His pass was poor as well. One back by Nico Williams, who seems to be fine after that injury. He wanted it back from Sangare, but he went back to centre half. Here's Dan Ndoye now. Munoz has to backpedal. Dan Ndoye, fabulous challenge for the Colombian. And he wins a goal kick for his efforts. Dan Ndoye change of pace. Looked to go around the outside. Yeah, and in the end, really as well, Munoz does take a nick off the Swiss wide player's foot on the way out. Here comes one of the new men, James McAtee. Dan Ndoye and Hudson-Odoi both coming off. Assist for Dan Ndoye today, a goal for Hudson-Odoi today. The 2 dangerous players being taken off. And it's bright new players to come on for Nottingham Forest. Fresh faces are plenty this side. James McAtee and Kelly Mundo coming onto the park. McAtee, got to wonder what will be made of his time here at Nottingham Forest. I have seen all the names, saying they're quite funny. James McAtee will want to make a statement here and get in this starting 11. It's going to be hard work with the attackers they've got, but if anyone can show it, James McAtee showed sparks at City. If Pep Guardiola trusts you, I trust you. Here's Tyrick Mitchell. Battling away with James McAtee. Winning a throw off the former City man. Less than 20 to go now in this one. That's wasteful. And here comes Forest on the break. This is where they're dangerous. It's a 3-on-4 power play. Elliot Anderson joins in. Gives what was offside to James McAtee. The attack just had the sting sucked out of it. Now Murillo. Great switch from Olorena. The Brazilian finding Calawendo. Making his professional debut for Forest here today. McAtee. Elijah, maybe Ange was the problem. He made it entertaining at least, but yeah, Thomas Frank's a little bit more organised, a little bit more structured, and you're going to get more of those dominant performances, I feel like we saw versus Man City this season with Thomas Frank. Sometimes you have to suffer to find the real answer. I mean, that's what they did. Here's Romanessa. Great little trickery there, and drew a foul off Morgan Gibbs-White. Could be these sort of situations where Crystal Palace could benefit from. Set pieces, set plays, great deliveries like Adam Morton, Will Hughes can whip balls in the area, get the centre halves involved. Give him a tetcher on the end of one of these. It's an open play right now. It feels like Forest have the ascendancy. They have the advantage on the football. But set plays could be a way to victory. And we know in the Premier League, set pieces, corners, free kicks like these, they make the difference in the long run. Elliot Anderson struggling with cramp. So he'll have to make way for this set piece. West Ham 2 year old. Yeah, look, I had them 17th in my predictions. So, Elijah, I do see them probably being the closest non-promoted side to go down. I still reckon that the promoted sides will go down. We saw it yesterday. All the hype around Sunderland, they just got beaten by Bournemouth 2-0 at Burnley quite easily at Turf Moor. Another short free kick for Crystal Palace. Wharton whips in deep. Too much air time, allowing Matt Sells to collect. Chris Richards in a bot of bother there. Being collected by somebody. Just ran into the Brazilian brick wall of Murillo. Handball against Drewsbury. Oh, great. There goes fantasy points. Not these had a good go anyway. Good ball to find Romanessa. He finds Ismail Assar. His touch got away from him. Palace keep a hold of it. Munoz. That's a good little slipped in ball from Ismail Assar. Hook clear by Callum Wando. And the home support rise in voice. Always a fantastic atmosphere here at Selhurst Park. Can they give these fans something to go home and clap about? Can they find a winning goal, Crystal Palace? Probably come to this man here, Daniel Munoz. Sarr turning away from Sangare, could pull in. It's Mitchell at the back post, as it always feels like it is. Munoz to Mitchell. Gahey drifting out wide. Still kept a hold of it. Into Romanessa. His fancy footwork. I needed so much. Well, Hughes almost won a corner there, but his foot. Save by Pickford. Oh, Jesus. Danny Welbeck's having a penalty missed or saved. You know it's just Everton's day, isn't it? Wouldn't give my predictions a 2-1, but fair play at Jordan Pickford. Fair play Everton. Just going to be their day, isn't it? Just felt like it was going to be. New stadium, first home game of the season. Bound to happen, wasn't it? Hughes goes flying in. He won the ball, but I think it's more the type of challenge that the referee doesn't like. Not the best pen, but good save. Pickford's just doing what Pickford does best. Always makes massive saves in big moments, so fair play. Still 2-0 over there at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Over here, we've still got 1-1. Game's on a knife edge. Does Palace's lack of depth hurt them here? Only Romanessa are coming on. For Forest, 2 brand new wingers, James McAtee and Callum Wendo. That could be the difference. It was Hudson-Odoi who equalised in the second half after the first half. Ismail Assar scored in the 37th minute. That ball's flicked into Milenkovic to the edge of the area. Nico Williams. Richards, importantly, not sticking a foot in. McAtee, fresh off the bench. And looked like he's still on the bench with that type of ball into the box. Paul. Big shout out to Jed Spence, by the way, while we're at it. That's something we'll definitely talk about tomorrow. He is quite rightly putting himself in top 3 fullback conversation right now, the way he's playing his football. That's someone who also could be a shout for England come the World Cup at the end of this year. Yes, has done well. Great, superb footwork from Romanessa. I thought Elliot Anderson's ran it out of play, but Anthony Taylor's given the ball to Forest. Munoz given it away to Callum Wendo. Now Elliot Anderson. Far from his best game, Elliot Anderson, but he's put in a shift nonetheless. That's what you can expect from the young English midfielder. 10 minutes to go on this one. Still 1-1. Will we get a decisive goal late in this game? Is there more drama yet to come? Olarena. Sangare. To the feet of Callum Wendo. Back with the Ivorian in midfield. Murillo. Now back with Elliot Anderson. Can they just find something what Palace had in the first half? That little build-up where it was just fluid, synchronised football. And a way to beat this Palace backline who feel like every week they get better and better as the game grows on. Another one of the new fresh faces. From Ipswich, Amari Hutchinson. Lots of money for this man here. It's the skipper, Gibbs White. He has to make way. That just shows the quality that's in this side, because to drag a player like Morgan Gibbs White and his quality, you know you've got quality on the bench. So Jefferson Lerma ready to come on the pitch. It's Adam Morton to make way, and another really, really influential performance from the young Englishman real threat for young player of the year right now, the way he's gone about it. Really, really good. Another shift in for 80 minutes. I think for Palace and for England fans, keep this kid fit because he's the real deal. And they sing his name now at the home end. Forest gets back underway. Elliot Anderson. It's now a full, fresh 3 of new signings in behind Chris Wood. Callum Wendo playing wide left. Murray Hutchinson wide right. And James McAtee smack bang down the middle. Here's Murray Hutchinson's first touch in a Forest kit. Whips that ball in. Looking for Chris Wood. Dealt with once again by that Crystal Palace back line. Here's Nico Williams. Stretches the ball wide to Elliot Anderson. Accompanied by Munoz. Ball into the box. Oh, tacked hard by McAtee. Massive head collision on the edge of the area. Foul given in the way of Crystal Palace. But that is a rough one. Hughes straight to his feet, but looks a little bit groggy. Hughes sprung back to his feet like a cat. I still don't reckon he's okay, but I think he's okay. At least for the time being. Bit of a stop in this game here. It looks like we'll have some decent amount of stoppage time because of the frequent stoppage in this second half. Up next, the big one. Manchester United and Fulham from Craven Cottage. Be there. Nicky Williams in the war today. Another need for some physio assistance, but we should be back in action now here. So the foul is given in favour of Crystal Palace. We've got 6 minutes to go. Plus, I reckon about 5 or 6 of stoppage time. Just a dozen minutes to go. Can one of these two teams find that all-important goal? One more probably wins it. What's under this scoreboard stays under this scoreboard. Elijah, the water bottle's there. Sounds of the game. Feels like it might just be a moment of magic or just a howler that might be the decider here because these teams are so good defensively. It takes something quite special, like we've seen so far, to break each other down. Great take from McAtee. Given off to Wood. Now Nico Williams can get up and running. He drives into some space. Callum Wendo is wider of him. He's whipped in ball. Dealt with by Jefferson Lerma, who's off the bench. Mateta's touch, poor. Stolen away from him by Sangara. Now, Amari Hutchinson. Try and skip past Tyreek Mitchell, but he's dealt with that well. Yeah, this is the real one. I stole it off Donald Trump, this one here. And his Club World Cup trophy sitting back here as well. All right, 5 to go. The grudge match off the pitch so far can't be separated on the pitch. Ryan Yates, the heartbeat of that Forest side, getting himself ready. He can inject some physicality, some quality in that middle of the park. It looks like it's Douglas Luiz as well. So all the new signings are going to get a chance for a run out today. It's Igor Jesus, sorry. So I'm just... Ryan Yates and Igor Jesus is, I think, the sounds of it, is coming on now. A couple minutes to go. Thank you for everyone who's joined me on this Super Sunday. First half, there was a lot going on. Second half has been less entertaining, but I'm sure we'll probably get one more twist to this tale. It's the Premier League after all. Ball into Romanessa. It's a ball up well enough, but in the end dispossessed by Milenkovic. Ball lofted into a dangerous spot. They've all just clattered into each other. Don't know what has happened there. Will Hugh, I think, looks like he's given the yellow, but just a calamity of bodies flying in. I think it's a good call in the end. Great numbers in today, guys. Last couple of minutes, so stay with me here. We could get a grandstand finish this one. It is Ryan Yates and it is Igor Jesus ready to come off the bench for Nottingham Forest. And it's Odsonne Edouard for Crystal Palace. How can he re-find his form and belief at Palace? So Yates off. Yates on, as well as Igor Jesus, and Wood and Sangare off. So bit of reshuffling out top with fresh faces up there. More signings for Nottingham Forest on display. Mateta off and Edouard on in his place. There's no boom today for Jean-Philippe. So skipper for now is Ryan Yates. Hughes picked up a card. What's new? That's always on a Crystal Palace bingo card. Hutchinson. Ryan Yates instantly switching the play to Nico Williams. Walshman growing into this game. McAtee. Little give and go with Nico Williams. And Munoz played that very, very well. Losers points, of course, Shrewsbury always loses points. It's just not, as I'm saying, no, I'm not a FPL player, am I? There's some of the Forest ownership. 7 to play there at Goodison. Looks like it's cruise control for Everton in their first. Oh, Goodison, I said Goodison. At Hill Dickinson. It's a foul from Munoz on Nico Williams. He just seems to be the one player today that's been on the deck for most of this game. Ryan Yates is going straight away. Anderson demanding it, gets it. Drops off to Nico Williams. Now with Murillo. Put Yates under a bit of pressure. The skipper done with it well enough. As that fourth official gets his board ready to go. Probably 6 minutes of stoppage time to play here, you'd think. Olarena. Dink ball looking for McAtee. Dealt with, though, by Mark Gahey once again. 5 minutes only. Stoppages. Not long. But there's chance here. What a boring game. The first half was unbelievable. I was on the edge of my seat. Maybe it's it being 11 o'clock here and I've been up since 6 a.m. that maybe it's drained me. But yeah, it's been an average second half. But that's a lot of the Premier League games early in the season. The heat, the lack of fitness, it does this. Games slow down. I've got a goal, though, in the second half, so we can't really complain. No goals in 2 live streams last week. We've got 2 in this one, so we take it. How's Anderson and Wood played? Wood has barely had a touch of it. Anderson's done what he does best. He put a shift in, but not his best silky game on the football. Let's say that. Minute into the 5 stoppages. Here's Elliot Anderson on cue. Finding Amari Hutchinson. Drops that back to Olarena. He'll whip this ball in. Good flight to it. Jesus was in a dangerous area. Calamuendo. Went into trouble. Murillo went flying in. And that's a yellow card. Had to go in, though. Had to prevent the counter-attack. Edouard When is Ange coming in? Well, I said it earlier. I don't know if you've been with us, Truth. But the body, I'm no body language expert or no psychologist. But today, Nuno Espirito Santo has given off a dejected, defeated man. I think that might be a sign that this is all coming to an end. And to come out publicly and say what he said, that normally is said right at the end. So Big Ange might be around the corner. We know how well he gets along with Marinakis, so there's definitely the threat of Nuno out and Ange in. And in the next few days, because you know the way how quickly Nottingham Forest move. That's a good ball. Jesus is in behind. Got the beating of Richard. It's hitting off Jesus. Oh, it's off the post. What's a hit? Hutchinson. Oh, and he's missed a massive opportunity. And that was the game, you thought. Massive opportunity. Another great ball slipped in behind, this time by Murillo. And Jesus was in behind Richards. Gay got across him, and it's come off the post. Massive chance missed, and he'll be kicking himself. Off the bench, almost the instant impact. Struck it well. Just too much whip on the ball in the end. And off the upright. And that might just be that for this game. Another great ball in behind for Nottingham Forest. It's taken two wicked balls from Dan Ndoye and then Murillo there to get the beating of this Crystal Palace back five because they are so hard to beat. Oh, saying that, it's got to start down. It has to be a pen. It has to be a pen. And it's offside. Oh, it's offside. Oh, you'd have to have a look, ref. Oh, he's off. He's off. Whoa, what that being a moment if he was on? Did he even get a? Did he even touch him though? Nicky Williams was very, very upset. He wasn't buying it. Does he nick his foot? I think it's offside anyway, but they're having a bigger look. No, he's off. His shoulder there is well off. Oh, that ankle track. No, he's off. Is the big backside of Murillo keeping him on? It looks off. Yeah, it's offside. Well, couldn't that be? It's tight indeed, Truth. Tight indeed. That could have been crazy, a crazy finish. So after all of that second half and being boring, we've had two worldy chances in the last minute. Instead, we've got 30 seconds to play. Lankovic just gets that one away. Nico Williams. A hopeful ball in. It's headed down. It's Jesus. Oh. Again, he almost had it. Oh, it was Hutchinson. Oh. And that's two chances right at the end. Palace didn't deal with it. In the end, it comes off Lacroix. And Hutchinson got there first, but couldn't direct it on target. And Nuno's furious. They've had two massive chances in stoppage time. And they just haven't been able to find the back of the net. And that is all she wrote. What a game. One apiece. Really entertaining first half. Energy, intensity. What we expect from these two sides. Two teams in Europe this season. And they showed their credentials today. It was an Ismail Assar opener just after the half-hour mark as he volleyed home the cross from Munoz to give Palace a 1-0 lead into the half. Second half was much slower. Nottingham Forest probably the better side in the second 45. It was Dan Ndoye whose wicked ball in behind found his way to Callum Hudson-Odoi, who slotted the near post past D. Henderson. 1-1 in the end. A point that both teams will probably take. They'll both be kicking themselves. They couldn't get all three. Great stream. I agree, Elijah. It's been a good time. Thank you for everyone who's joining. This is one of the biggest and best streams we've had so far on the channel, and more to come, guys. It's Super Sunday. It's been a good run tonight. I will see you guys next week. We've got Soccer Saturday with Chelsea, the early kickoff, and we're back once again for Super Sunday next weekend with more exciting football to come. Thank you for joining me, guys. Wherever you've been around the world, for the support. Make sure to check out the Premier League review show. Episode will drop late Monday here in Australia, afternoon there in the UK. The podcast comes back next week once I've got more things sorted out. But there'll be more clips going out this week, highlights from this stream, and so much more. It's been a great stream, guys. Thank you for joining me. What a game. 1-1 in the end. Palace will probably take the point. They've got 2 points from 2 games. Forest 4 from possible 6 points picked up. Big point in the road for them. They'll take it. The Marinakis derby, it delivered. 1 apiece in the end. Both teams pick another point at Selhurst Park.